Alrighty, so we're going to be doing lesson 1 here. The first thing to note is we're doing substitution method, and we're still working with two equations. So even though it seems pretty complicated, we're prepared for this. So first of all, if x equals 2, I got my variable isolated, I know x is 2, I can plug that in to the expression. So all I'm going to do is 3 times 2 plus 4. And this is going to be 6 plus 4, which is 10, and I get a number. Now, that doesn't always happen when I have x equals 2y. X is isolated, but it's 2y. So I'm going to be using 3x plus 4 again. X is 2y this time. So 3 times 2y plus 4. We're still going to multiply. We're going to do 3 times 2. We're going to get 6, bring down the y. But we cannot add this together. So this is it. 6y plus 4. Sometimes you get an expression. So let's keep going. Here are some steps you're going to need. We're going to just leave them there for now. I'm going to show you. Okay. What is the solution of the system? Okay. Now, I already know y equals 3x. That's really helpful that they isolated a variable for us. So I'm going to plug in this 3x in for, what do you think? If y equals 3x, I'm going to plug in for y. Kind of was going to the x first, but it worked out. Okay. So now I'm going to write this expression, or this is an equation. I'm going to write this in equation. X plus, and instead of y, I'm going to write 3x. And then I'm going to write the rest of this equation, which is negative 32. Now, I can combine like terms here. I'm going to get 4x equals negative 32. I'm going to divide by 4 to get x by itself. X equals negative 8. Sometimes they want us to find x and y. So in this case, we're going to find y. If y is 3x, all we have to do is negative 8 times 3. So y equals negative 24. Okay, and then another way to write this would be negative 8 comma negative 24 as an ordered pair. All right, let's move on. So in this next example, I want you to circle if there's a variable isolated. Now, in this case, there's two variables, well, the same variable, but they're both isolated. There's two equations with y isolated. So we're going to set this equal to each other. 2x plus 7 equals x minus 2. I'm going to solve for x. So all I have to do is subtract 7 on both sides. I'm going to bring down the x. I'm going to get negative 9 there because negative 2 plus negative 7 is negative 9. And then I'm going to get the x on the other side by subtracting it. So 2x minus 1x is going to be just x, or 1x or just x. So the answer for x is negative 9. Now I got to plug it back into one of them. I'm going to choose the second one. I'm going to plug it in because it looks easier. If x is negative 9 minus 2 is going to be negative 11. So as an ordered pair, the answer is negative 9 comma negative 11. All right. If you need to pause it, pause it. I'm going to move on. For this one, there's no variable isolated. So all you're going to do is pick one to isolate a variable for. I'm going to use this one because x is already by itself almost. Just have to get rid of this 5y. So I'm going to subtract 5y on both sides. X is going to equal, what is 4 minus 5y. Can't do it. So 4 minus 5y. So x equals 4 minus 5y. I can plug that into one of the equations. Let's go ahead and plug it into the other one. So if it's 2x plus 8y equals 6. Now, I hope you're going to write it. You can write it right here. I'm going to write it here because I'm running out of space. So we're going to use this one. So it's 2 times 4 minus 5y plus 8y equals 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times negative 5y is negative 10y. Bring down everything else. Let me use a little line to make sure you know where I am. I'm not in that other spot. Okay. So now I'm just going to combine like terms. So negative 10y and 8y are going to be negative 2y. So 8 minus 2y equals 6. What I'm going to do now is subtract 8 on both sides. Oops, that's not 8. That is, okay. I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides this time. Mistake found. Okay. So bring down the negative 2y. 6 plus negative 8 is going to be negative 2. Divide by, we're almost done, negative 2 on both sides. Y is going to equal, what is negative, oh, that cancels. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. All right, so your answer is going to now have to get plugged into here. All right, so it's going to be, if y is 1, what's x? X is going to be negative 5 times 1, which is negative 5, plus 4 is going to be negative 1. So you're going to get negative 1 comma 1. All right. I want you to try number 4, and what I would do is start by trying to isolate x here. So go ahead and try that one. If you get stuck, it's okay. Also, if you get stuck on the word problem, it's okay. I'm going to explain that one. We're back in whole group.